Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFLTV, delighted as always to be joined by Mr. Dave Coldwell. Dave, we've spoken about the backdrop here. I think it suits you. I think this blends with the nice jacket.
If we get a black marker, and just get GBM written on the background, then people are aware that I'm at the GBM boxing show here in Rotherham.
As you can see, look at all them cameras over there, Dave. I've had to squeeze you in over here beside me. Is that okay?
Yeah, all good. I'm only small.
There you go, that works perfectly for us. We're here at the GBM show down in Rotherham. Probably local for you, not far, I'd imagine. As he's doing big things, he seems to be enjoying it out there.
Yeah, it suits his personality. It's what he is. He's a showman, and this is showbiz. It's showbiz with blood and guts. And he's doing really well in the sport. I'm always known for him. The show, it's packed out there. Good fights, good prospects. It's what you want.
Definitely, and especially this Yorkshire sort of area, like it's always been a hub for boxing. I mean, especially the city of Sheffield, it's always been a sort of city that produces dangerous and good and household name fighters, and it seems we can probably find a few in here.
Yes. This is just the next generation of it all coming through. Boxing in Sheffield and the surrounding areas. I go back to Brendan Ingle days when I walked into that gym. There's like the likes of your Bomber Grahams and Slugger O'Toole's and Johnny Nelson's. So I've watched it grow and develop, and it'll keep on growing and developing.
Talk about prospects going through and making a name for themselves, being stars. So Hopey Price is back punching. You must be happy.
Oh mate, yeah, it's just like just to see the kid like. Weights lifted off his shoulders. I'm over the moon with him, and I'm so proud of him because he's kept his weight in check. He's followed his nutrition plan, to help his body heal and everything. He come back into the gym and he was slender in the face. I'm like, this is what I want to see. So once, for the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks after the op, he couldn't really move because it's the op where they take a piece out of the bone from the hip into the hand. But then he got his mobility back. Spent a couple of weeks in the gym, just shadow boxing, using one hand, and now we can just start touching, the foam paddles, and just using those now. Still a few weeks away from pads and things like that, but bit by bit, at least he's punching something, and he's a lot happier now.
What's the timescale for a return? I've kicked that open there. September. I'm chilly. I thought somebody was holding the door, and I've kicked it. A timescale for Hopey Price.
We're looking at September. I mean, I'd like to maybe even earlier, slightly earlier, just to run out. But I think September it'll be good.
So Hopey was on the cusp of maybe. Well, there was talks of him fighting Nathaniel Collins for that Commonwealth British title. It's mandatory, isn't it? So. Obviously, he'll probably need a fight to get back into it, knock that ring rust off. But is that still the goal, Nathaniel Collins, if he comes through that European title fight?
Yeah, that's still the goal. The goal's the British title. So whoever's, if Nathaniel moves on, I don't know if he hangs about for it. Then fair enough. Then it's not the fighter. It's the route. It's the title. I hope he wants to get that because I believe you've got to earn that before he gets before he goes on to the European and so on. So that's the one really.
We'll talk about prospects coming through. I've seen that you've taken another young prospect in Ollie Milsom. Who would have known?
I know. Do you know what? He's not bad.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you, he's not bad. He's definitely one of those guys that he's a big fan. I mean, we've seen him at boxing shows for a long time. He's good mates with Sam Gilley. He trains down with Sam down there. But he's a proper student of the game. He knows everything about boxing, and he enjoys it. And he didn't do a little bit of pads, and he wants to learn, and he really enjoys it. We trained for about four days, I think it was, it's been really, really good. And you know what? He's decent, but he's not one of these idiots. I think because I can hit a few pads, it means I can have a fight. He's doing it because he loves it, he enjoys it, and he's just one of the lads. Really, he's really, really down to earth. Yeah.
I was squashing my next question because I was going to put you on the spot a little bit and say, Ollie Milsom versus me, who wins?
I've not seen you yet, but you look like you can fight. But to be fair, Ollie's quite powerful, So and he's picking up some good tricks at the moment. So I think he'd do you.
I was actually being my corner, but it looks like you're an Ollie Milsom. Obviously you've got a young stable coming through. You've got an absolute talented young stable, Dan Tower as well. You've got Stephen Cairns, Hopey's brother. You've LSJ. You've got an absolute you got young prospects coming through that can be future stars in themselves. But does that keep you sort of like motivated to go to the gym? Because sometimes it's like that Monday morning.
No, I'm motivated every day. I love it. I'm privileged to do what I do for a living. This year's I'll be 34 years in boxing. How
old are you?
I'm about to be 49. I'm not far off 49, but I see it as a privilege. I get to. Someone just asked me about do I enjoy working for Sky, mate? I love the sport and I get paid for talking about the sport. And people ask me opinions. You don't have to agree with my opinions. That's not. We don't have to agree with everybody. We can respectfully disagree with people, and you might have an opinion on a fight, and I don't agree with it. Don't mean we're going to fall out. Don't mean I'm going to start calling your name. But it's not. I love the fact that this is my job. Talking about something that I love to do. So when I get up in the morning, I never get up and think, "Fuck me, I've got to go to work." I don't call it work. I go to the gym and I train the lads. That's what it is. Go to the gym, train lads. That's it. And I love it. So I don't need that. I don't need anything extra to be motivated. My motivation is when we're working on something, when I try to show something, or trying to improve something, or trying to erase a mistake, and then see it develop, and then you see it in sparring, he's pulling it off in sparring, it's like wicked. And then you do it in a fight, it's like brilliant, and that goes through all the levels from only time I feel, I've just seen John Pegg's son, I've seen him since he was that big and he's massive now, I'm like, what? And that's where you get your buzz. It's just seeing people develop, seeing the time that you put into people, and that they actually put it into practice. So I don't need extra motivation. I enjoy what I do, and that's I'm privileged.
I'm almost in the same boat as you, I would say. Obviously, I get to do this with IFLTV, get to talk boxing, get to talk with you about boxing, other guys about boxing, which I love the sport. And then now I've jumped into sort of your realm with my coaching licence, and I'm bringing in some young fighters and just tweaking little things with them and bouncing off. When if I watch in the gym with you, if I'm in the gym with Joe McNally or whoever it may be, I take little things back to my gym and I teach these kids, and I can see why you stay motivated, because it's not like every day's just different, isn't it, in that gym?
Completely different. And the thing is, our job as coaches is to try and help these fighters the best that we can, right? Doesn't mean we get it right every single time. It doesn't mean that they're going to be, not everybody can be a world champion. There's this thing where everyone, if you're not a world champion, you're shit. What? Just 6-round level, 4-round level. That's a level that majority of people won't even comprehend, because they'll never even get in there and do it, So when you're seeing a 4-round fighter getting in there and doing what you've been working on in the gym, you will get, you've got your fighters coming up soon. You will get that buzz and that adrenaline rush where it's like, and the nerves, and like, once you the worst thing for me is when we do the referee's instructions, and then I walk back and their fighter's in the corner, and the last thing that I say to my fighter, that climb out of the ropes, as I'm stepping out of the ropes, I hate that bit. That's the bit that I hate, because that's where it's like, I can't do nothing for the next 3 minutes. Do you know what I mean? It's like, literally, it's out of my hands. I get to have a chat with them at the end of the round, but I can't do anything now. It's all down on them. The training that you've done, the pad work that you've done, the talking, the studying, everything that you've been doing, that's it. They've got to now go out there and do that. And that's the bit that I hate. And it is an adrenaline rush, and it is something that will never leave you, unless I don't know. Some people are quite cold to it, and some people it is just a business. But that's how life is. People go to work every single day, so if they see boxing as it's just a job, then they'll be this kind of same sort of mentality as when people work in a bank as a teller or whatever, mortgage advisor, and they just go do the job. Come on, go do the job. But I don't see this as a job. I see this as something that I really love. So it never leaves. Do you know what I mean? It never leaves.
Yeah, I can't wait to get started. Dave, I want to talk about like coaching young fighters and bringing them through. I'm trying to do a nice segue here. You've also got to manage their weight. And I think you know where I'm going with this. Now, yesterday Ryan Garcia at the weigh-in was 3.2 pounds over the weight, and with all the stuff on social media that he's been doing and the press conference, the way they've been acting and stuff like that, just give me your thoughts on this whole sort of build-up of this fight tonight.
It's crazy, and it's not a good look. And it's not as straightforward as what you think it would be. You know, your original feeling is, Oscar, this show shouldn't be happening, pull it out. But from a promoter's point of view, if there's a contract signed, and if he's not failed any sort of test, and you know, if they've had a psych test and he's passed it or whatever, if he's not failed anything that says he's not fit to box, then you can't just pull the fight, because your contractor, then the fighter can then sue you, because then also that then can leave anything open for a promoter, if a show's bombing, to turn around and say, well, I don't think you're mentally in a good position to be fighting, I'm pulling the fight to save him money. And it's like, what? Do you know what I mean? Obviously with Garcia, it's plain to see he's not well, he's not right. And it's like, but he's a grown-ass man, and if he's saying I'm fighting, and if there's contracts that are saying that he's fighting, all he can be advised is to pull out. But if a fight, it's like when a fighter carries on boxing and you don't need to box anymore, and you say, I think you need to retire, and he goes no, and everybody in the world's screaming, the guy's puncher, he shouldn't be fighting anymore, but he keeps on fighting. The fighter wants to fight. Now, the difference with that is a promoter shouldn't put him on in the first place. But when this fight was made, Ryan Garcia seemed fine. This fight got made. We was all good fight, happy with this fight, really good fight. It's only since, after everything's been signed and done, where this has come about. So it's that, you know, you'd like to think that his family's done the best to try and get him pulled out of the fight. But ultimately, it's like when we've got kids, we tell them, no, don't do this. But ultimately, when they're adults, they can go and do whatever they want, and maybe this is that sort of case. I just worry for him because I can just see an Oliver McCall spectacle happening. Yeah. And I just think that he's going to, you know, if he might come out swinging and raging and really, really going for it, but then when it flips back round, how does he handle that then? You know, and it's unfortunate because he is one of the sports stars because he's following. And he'll be fully aware that he's in the window where all eyes are on him. What does that pressure do to him at the end of the fight? And then going away from that, he needs to be looked after, and he needs people around him, you know, that care about him after the fight. There's nothing we can do about it now. The fight's happening. So it's after the fight that the care needs to be there for him.
You said there as well that when this fight was made, we were all buzzing. I was buzzing for it. I was like, yes, this is going to be a great fight. Has this fight lost a little bit of shine with all the antics and what's been going on with the press conference, the social media stuff, and yesterday at the weigh-in, 3.2 pounds and drinking a beer? Has it lost its shine a little bit?
It's not about the shine. It's probably got more eyes on it now, more mainstream eyes, and which is why some people are saying, oh, is it a bit of a ruse? No, it's a bit too deep what he's doing and how he's behaving. That's not some master promotional plan to sell tickets and get eyeballs on the show, especially when he's losing $1.5 million anyway for not making weight. It's lost credibility, I would say, because I feel sorry for Devin Haney, because Devin Haney, how difficult must it be? You've got this fight, this massive fight, what you're preparing for, but you don't actually know if it's going to happen because you think the other guy's going to pull out or he's going to get pulled, it's going to be off, he's not going to make it to fight night. He gets to fight night and he goes in there and he fights and he wins, which we expect him to win. People are going to discredit the win because Ryan Garcia shouldn't be in the ring in the first place. So he's had all this from when the fight was made. It was a good fight and everyone's giving him props for taking a fight because he's a dangerous opponent. From all that, it's gone to where the fight, that wins nothing because he was in no fit state. So it's hard on Devin Haney as well. So I don't see, nobody wins really. Nobody wins. When it sells, promoters win, and obviously the fighters get paid, but nobody really wins in terms of the sport. It's not a good look because the show went ahead. If he has a Oliver McCall style breakdown or anything, you know, it's not a good look for the sport. It's not a good look for the promotion because the promotion happened. It's not a good look for the fighters. So it's a no-win situation, I think.
I was going to say there, obviously, a lot of people were saying that he's been trolling all this time, but I guess you don't believe that.
No, because the stuff that he's been saying is very, very deep. Very deep, and you wouldn't troll and talk shit about the stuff that he's been saying, because if he has, then that's scraping barrel, you know. It's promoting fights and that. So that's why I don't believe that one bit. And also when you look at his mannerisms now, mate, If he's trolling, his behaviour is an act, then he needs to forget about boxing, his NLA, go into Hollywood. Because this is a masterclass in acting. Because when you see the cameras are on him and how he is and little twitches and how he is and how he's flipping with his personalities, I just see a man that's completely unravelling in front of all the media and all our eyes.
It's a shame, David. Again, the fight is happening tonight, Dave, and I'm sure we will be watching it. I'm driving home tonight, so I'll watch it in the morning. But Dave, as always, absolute pleasure to speak to you, my man. And I'm pretty sure you've got a little queue behind me, so I've pulled you in here, and you're not going to get to enjoy the fight. So I do apologise. That's my bad. Thank you, Dave.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.